Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Freighter. Salam. However, there's one performer who usually have me totally mesmerized over the years. So even if I'm driving and her song is playing on the car radio, I naturally want to dance and to sing along as I drive along. The artist that has had this phenomenal impact on me is none other than the Queen of Reggae, the iconic Marcia Griffiths. I am always ready to travel miles just to see her perform. I remember her performance at Western Consciousness 2012. Back then, the phrase "shell down the place" was not yet coined, but that's exactly what she did, sending me and the other patrons into a dancing frenzy with songs like "Tell Me Why," "I Shall Sing," "Closer," "Fire Burning," "Solomon," "Welcome to Jamrock," and her encore, "Dreamland." She later did a one song with Burst Amani in his set. And if you wanted to know what one song can do, you should have seen him singing If You See Me Crying. At the start of the song, I was busy snapping away photographs, but by the time the song ended, my notebook and my camera were both on the ground by my feet as I danced away, totally captivated by the moment. Despite the global impact she has created, singing backup for Bob Marley alongside Rita Marley and Judy Mott as the I Trees, and their legendary duets with the great Bob Andy. In reality, Marcia Griffiths is an exceptional solo performer who is capable of thrilling any audience of any size, all on her own. While her fans all over the world might have their own favorite performances from Marcia Griffiths, for me, nothing can top her 2014 performance at the Jamaica Jazz and Blues Festival at the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium in Falmouth. It was as she was telling the packed audience that "I shall sing." And as the song continued, I hope she will do it as long as she lives. In this edition of Lest You Forget, I will be revisiting that performance from a story I wrote for the Gleaner, which was published on February 1st, 2014, under the headline, "Marcia Marks 50 Musical Years." The story read as follows. The story of Jamaica's music was elegantly gift-wrapped and delivered with beauty, charm and charisma as the 2014 edition of the Jamaica Jazz and Blues Festival got going in a blaze of glory at the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium on Thursday night. From the vocally compelling Christopher Martin to emerging superstar Chronix, dazzling veteran songbird Marcia Griffiths, and the dancehall doctor Beanie Man, who made a memorable house call as Moses Davis, it satisfied from start to finish. While all the acts, including veteran showband Chalice, were exemplary, the night essentially belonged to the evergreen Marcia Griffiths. She was supported by Nadine Sutherland, Tony Gregory, Davil, Tony Rebel, legendary songwriter-performer Bob Andy, Judy Mott, and dub poet Cherry Natural. After being introduced by a Cherry Natural poem chronicling her longevity, Griffiths, who is celebrating 50 years in music, hit center stage with the clock closing in on midnight. With the 807 band in good nick, Griffiths opened her set regally with Shining Time. With the spotlight settling in on her black and white dress, it was fun and frolic as Marcia glided around the stage, wrapping her golden voice around Give Your Love a Try, Feel Like Dancing, and Dreamland, which had the audience joining in like a well-schooled choir. Those who remained seated were eventually forced to vacate their seats for Electric Boogie, with strangers forming spontaneous boogie trains. After adding more musical delight with I Shall Sing, Closer to You, and Remember the Days, in which she showed crisp DJing qualities, Griffiths made way temporarily for Nadine Sutherland, the first of her guests. Sutherland quickly made her presence felt, masterfully delivering Griffiths' hits, including Truly. Griffiths, who changed outfits while Sutherland was paying her tribute, returned clad in a gold dress along with Tony Gregory. Together, they took the house down with You Are Mine before Gregory kept the tempo at a peak with Gypsy Girl. Daville joined Griffiths for All My Life and Tony Rebel followed, gelling sweetly with Griffiths on Land of Love and Fire Burning. It was an historic moment when Bob Andy joined Griffiths and they rolled back the clock to the 1960s with a video of them performing together in the Big Heel Boot and Afro era on the backdrop screen. They effortlessly dazzled with classics such as We Belong and the lyrically militant Young, Gifted and Black. Griffiths, who was presented with a plaque by the organizers of the event for her enviable contribution to music, went nostalgic when her I3 colleague Judy Mott joined her on stage. Together they delved into Bob Marley's catalogue, delighting with No Woman No Cry, Buffalo Soldier, Iron Lion Zion, Could You Be Loved, and Exodus. In closing out her set, Marcia invited back all her friends who had performed earlier together, and then they completed the set with Exodus. When Marcia closed her set, all I could say to myself was, she did it again. In reflecting on that memorable occasion, there's no question in my mind that it was one of those unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica. Unforgettable stories out of Western Jamaica from the scrapbooks of Adrian Fruita. Before you go, please remember to subscribe.